Janelle. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Well, who thinks it's the podcast? But the moment you've been waiting for is actually what we've all been waiting for. The beginning of summer, the first weekend. It's Memorial Day here in the Finger Lakes, and we are going to have a blast. Well, I'm here on behalf of FLXmusic247.com. It's an online searchable calendar where you can find all the live music in the Finger Lakes. It's color-coded so you can stay in the area that you are in, or you can search by town or by genre, and it'll have over 50 events each weekend day to get your summer started. We're here at the beginning of our 15-week week of blazing summer in the Finger Lakes, and music makes everything better. So get onto the website, check it out. Everything I talk about today you'll be able to find right on the website, searchable by date as well. It's a really great opportunity to see what's going on. And I'd also like to invite you, there it is again, looks great, doesn't it? To, let's go on, to join us on Instagram and Facebook. We repost many of our customers and non-customers' Facebook posts, and we have a new creative director on Instagram who is out with finding out who's who and where's where in the Finger Lakes to find the best music. So you can look for Who and Emily on Instagram, and please follow us there too. We're making a great campaign to reach you young people who love to scroll on Instagram. Hope to see you there. Anyway, let's get going right away. We're off to the birthplace of Memorial Day, which is Waterloo, New York. And believe it or not, back in 1868, after the Civil War, a few local citizens got together and wanted to honor those people that had given their lives in service to our country. And they started a Memorial Day celebration. Well, it's not exactly a celebration. We call it Celebrate, Commemorate, because on one hand, we are excited about what our country and our communities and our individual citizens have to offer, and on the other hand, we like to commemorate the service of those who have given their lives in service so that we can live in a country that is free. So anyway, join me. I'll be down at the park, Lafayette Park in Waterloo. We have some great music online. There'll be vendors, food trucks, a beautiful parade, probably the biggest and best parade in a rural community, starting Saturday at 11 o'clock. We have 4 marching bands and 4 or 5 professional performing groups in there, and all kinds of community groups in the parade. It's a full 1-hour parade, starts at 11 down on Main Street. And in Lafayette Park, immediately after the parade, we'll hear from the Hitmen, we'll hear from downbeat percussion, followed by a super upbeat party band, Uptown Groove with live horns. Our area favorite, Nate Michaels, will perform at 2:30. 2:45, I believe, and then following that we'll offer Flint Creek, which is a southern rock band, and down on Oak Island we'll offer a band that plays folk and Americana to get started, and then ups their energy levels to get us ready for the fireworks at 10. And on Sunday we have 2 awesome bands. One's going to play old time rock and roll to get us started at noon, and that's Tarps Rock, and Rocket Science will take us through the decades with classic rock until 5 o'clock. So it'll be really fun. There's a classic car show on Sunday, and all sorts of ways for you to get involved, for kids to enjoy free activities. There's things to taste and all sorts of great stuff. Come out and support your festival and see your friends out on the festival grounds at Lafayette Park in Waterloo. It's for everyone. Hope to see you there. Okay, so on to the regular routine of hot spots, hot shots, tried and true, and something new. Let's get to our hot spots right away. So Zugabee Winery will transport themselves from a Sunday afternoon venue to a Thursday evening happy hour, and they are inviting Dennis Wing this week. He's a very versatile guitar player, and he'll be playing a variety of music all the way from jazz to rock, and that'll be Thursday starting on the 25th from 6 to 9, and you can enjoy live music at Zugabee every Thursday. So get ready for that. They have a wonderful sunset. Down on Cayuga Lake, restaurant and bar is Wolffy's, right on the shores of the west side of Cayuga Lake, and this week they're having their seasoning opening on the pontoon, get it, pontoon? T-U-N-E, pontoon stage, and they have their own outdoor bar. There's sand. You can play in the sand. It goes right up to the lake. It's a super awesome place to enjoy live music and your friends. And they're offering 4 bands this week on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Just go on the calendar. There's too many to talk about. You'll enjoy a band starting off the weekend, Metamorphosis. They'll start on Friday night from 5 to 8. Up in the hills on Cayuga Lake, our friends at Abandoned Brewery are offering Mr. Monkey Duo this week. Mr. Monkey is a female-led classic rock band, and they have a band and they also have a duo. And Patty is the lead singer there, and she's an innovative fashionista, and she really plays the part well. And they love their rock and roll, and they really do it. They do it the way it's supposed to be done, and they'll be there on Friday from 5 to 8. Our friends at Tiki Bar North at Stivers Marina have picked up an incredible band for this weekend. They're offering the group called Red Daisy Revival, and they're a national touring act. They're stopping in Friday and Saturday at the Tiki Hut, and then if you missed them, you can catch them also Sunday at Three Brothers on the calendar. If you love cider, the Finger Lakes Cider House is a beautiful farm about halfway down Cayuga Lake on the west side, and they have their own orchards, and they have organic strawberries that you can pick there. They have a wonderful kitchen and a view of the lake from high above. Their Friday night series starts this week from 6 to 9, and they are offering Pierce Walsh and the Makers. They do a lot of innovative programming there, including many of our local artists that are Americana artists. And, you know, when you talk about Americana, what is that? Well, it's blues influenced, it's country influenced, it's bluegrass influenced, and the musicians, it's a wonderful community of people that combine in different groups of instrumentation and different voices to provide music throughout the Finger Lakes all summer. And I like the program at the Finger Lakes Cider House. So if you get a chance to go down there on Fridays from 6 to 9, you'll always catch a great group. And down at the Vantage Point, if you've been to Wagner's before, Wagner's Winery and Brewery, the scene from the Vantage Point, that's why they called it that, it's just a view to die for. And they also have the evening sunset. So get on down there and hear an awesome band, Betty's Ghost, playing Friday from 6:30 to 9:30. Well, we have a huge pile of hot shots in the area. It's hard to pick out who to highlight, so here, let's try it anyway. Destination After Dark is going to be over at Trey Levin Winery on the east side of Cayuga Lake from 6 to 9 on Friday. That has a little ticket attached to it, but they're a huge, fun party band, and if you like to dance and you want to be outside on a beautiful Friday night, get over to Trey Levin. It's a great spot. They also have a kitchen over there. And then 2 awesome bands lined up day by day, PA Line and Quister, playing down at the Scale House Brewery, both afternoon shows, so you can stop in and still head on to someplace else. And those bands will get you out of your chair and dancing. Quister is a favorite of mine because it's considered Rust Belt reggae. So it's got a reggae beat with a little country twang in there, and it's just a unique sound, and they're really fun musicians doing interesting twists on standard covers of different songs throughout the eras. It's fun. And over in Auburn, lots of things in the Finger Lakes are typically happy hour or early evening. I've heard a few tourists complain, isn't there anything going on at night around here? And I'm like, what do you mean? 9 o'clock is night. But as the summer fires up, 9 o'clock is still daylight. So at Moondog's Lounge, they offer music now from 8 to 11. So you can stay up later. And Psychedelic Sushi, again, a psychedelic influenced band, just innovative playing, great musicians. They're going to be performing at Moondog's Lounge on Friday night from 8 to 11, followed up by Count Blastula, which is a classic rock band, on Saturday from 8 to 11. One of my favorite bands, Neo Project, is playing at a newer place. I think it opened last year, called Cayuga Shoreline, and it's on Cayuga Lake, west side, with an interlaken address, so you're going to have to find it on the GPS. And they're playing Saturday, the 27th, from 7 to 10 down there. That place is a chance for you to be right on the water as well. And if you're from the Finger Lakes, you know you want to go there because it's great to be on the water in the summertime. And if you're not, let me tell you, you want to go places like that because it's great to be on the water in the Finger Lakes in the summertime. So check that out. And some other favorites in the area, the Endless Mountain Derelicts. This band is unique because they have mostly an original set. They write all their own music. And again, they're influenced. I would call them kind of crossing the line between Americana and country. They have some pretty nice vocal harmonies, and they work very hard. They put out some recent recordings, and you can find their information on their own website or get a link through FLX Music 247 to their music. The other thing I like about this group is they do an awful lot of fundraisers, and they're going to be performing in an upcoming music festival, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but that's coming up for Safe Harbors. That'll be in Canandaigua the following weekend. But check them out. They also do some fundraising for crafty ales and lagers in Phelps. And, you know, they're generally great people in that band. Like to support them. They'll be playing this week, though, on the main deck down in Penn Yan on Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Again, another late night spot with its lower level deck hanging right on the edge of Cayuga Lake. Gotta love it. And perhaps one of the most prolific musicians in the area, loved by all for his dazzling personality, his incredible loops that he does live in front of your eyes, is Nate Michaels. And he plays so many places, and if you ever get a chance to catch him, you definitely should. This week, I'd like to promote him at one of my customers, Vineyard View, which is on Cayuga Lake. He'll be playing Friday from 5 to 8. But he's also going to be playing at the Memorial Day celebration on Saturday at 2:45, and then you'll find him at Wolffy's on Sunday, and then at the Ventosa music series that runs on Wednesday nights. He'll be also performing there. So you have a lot of chances to hear Nate Michaels, and if you haven't heard him, hear him. And if you've heard him once, you know you got to go see him again. So he's just a great guy. Tell him, go up and meet him, say hi. He'll remember you, and he'll be happy that you showed up to hear his music. So let's head on now to the tried and true. This segment reflects both venues and artists that I like to highlight, places that you can count on each week, or artists that you can count on each week for an awesome show. So let's open up Bagley's Poplar Ridge Winery on the eastern shore of Seneca Lake. They have their golden hour, and it is the golden hour, high up on the hill, sunsets, and they're offering music every Friday from 5 to 8. This weekend, they're doing music both on Friday with the Jimmy Jam Band, which is always a good time, and another area professional full-time musician, plays everywhere all the time, very polished, Sam Swanson will play on Saturday from 5 to 8. So get on down there. They have a lot of nice things to offer. They've been in business for over 30 years, and so they are definitely tried and true. Our friends at Laurentide Brewery down in Penn Yan, this year they opened the True Roots Cafe, which is an awesome addition. So not only do they have a bed and breakfast mansion, their brewery in the carriage house, and now the full kitchen, full service cafe right on the grounds. It's a wonderful place. It's tucked in. It's almost hard to find. You got to look for it on Maiden Lane. It's just tucked in Penn Yan. So get in there, go find it. Sean Dersher is playing on Saturday from 5 to 8. They have a full music program with music typically 1 to 3 times a week. So they're a great place to get to. And Point of the Bluff down on Cayuga Lake, they're offering their season opener this week, Saturday the 27th from 5 to 8. They have a few venues right on their grounds. They have the Point of the Bluff concert series where they offer full service concerts with ticketed prices, different tiers. They even have a VIP package this year. And they also offer smaller groups down in the winery tasting room area, and those are free. So get on down to Point of the Bluff. Again, when you drive down there, I say to myself, I don't know where you're from, but wow, this is far out. And I mean that, literally. And they're up on the bluff. It's gorgeous. If you get down there, though, remember that to check your map, because if you are heading towards Point of the Bluff, there's 4 or 5 different venues right on the same remote road that offer live music regularly, and you'll see most of those on the calendar if you give it a chance. Most of them are stacked up a little bit so you can hop from one place to the other, so, get out and have some fun there. Another tried and true venue that's been around since 1980, I can't do the math very well, but that's a long time too. One of the original early wineries in the area, Hosmer Winery, they're offering everyone's favorite music and mimosas on Sundays. So make sure you grab yourself a designated driver, head on down to hear live music on Sundays from 1 to 4 in the suite. Tom Gath is playing, and that should be a really relaxing set. And I don't know. They have other things to drink besides mimosas too. And if you're not a drinker, don't let that stop you from visiting a winery. They often offer innovative beverages, from sparkling waters to NA wine, and don't forget, water will do the job if you don't want to drink something else. Well, Miranda Cheese Barn, and I call it the Cheese Barn. I shouldn't call it the Cheese Barn. It's the barn at Miranda, which is the cheese business. And they're well known throughout the region and expanding into national markets. A super great family started the dairy end of the business, and they renovated an 1868 barn, and it's gorgeous in there, and they've been offering music on Sundays from 2 to 5, and this year they've added Saturdays as well. So, but for this upcoming weekend, Hot Dogs and Gin, which is another incredibly popular band in the area, a young, really a prodigy guitar player, and his believe it's his father and some other band members get together to play classic rock. It's really an amazing performance. They'll be there Sunday from 2 to 5. It's a great place to visit. And I know we talked about the Swits last week, but I have to talk about them again because they're one of the few places this weekend that will be offering music Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Also, your late night spot on Cayuga Lake. If you're heading that way, they'll have a DJ for the after hour parties, but they have, did I write them down? They have the Ampersand project on Friday. That's an acoustic duo, widely regarded. They have our touring musician Claudia Hauser. She comes to the Finger Lakes a couple times a year and visits a lot of her friends at different venues and performs. She'll be playing, country singer, she'll be playing from 5 to 8 on Saturday in an acoustic show. And again, it's great to get up close and personal with the artists. They often share stories about their lives and the origins of their songs. It just makes it interesting. And Doc Cavallero, also known as, what do I call him? What does he call himself? Doc Possum. Doc Possum. So that's a great name. Don't you think, who? Possum? You don't like possums? Oh, well, I like Doc Possum's music because he likes to play the blues, and that's kind of fun. And also Kate and Dave. Kate is a classically trained singer, songwriter, and Dave Kuykendall, a local hero right here from Seneca Falls. He's on guitar, and they put together an incredible show. It's amazing what two people can put together, and they are jazz influenced, but not jazz exclusively. It's wonderful music. I haven't heard a better singer in the Finger Lakes than Kate, so head on down to see them. And then we have some things that are new in the area this year. I'd like to promote a music performance that's coming up this Saturday from 4 to 7. It's a ticketed event. It's at Relative Risk, which is a brand new brewery heading down into Penn Yan. Again, you'll have to check your GPS for the directions. And they've combined with their neighbor, another new winery, Scout Winery, to present Kevin Ludwig, who is, I believe, an American Idol finalist. And he's a local area resident guy. Did I say that right? And he'll be performing a show for a lot of people that he knows, and hopefully you too. So get on down there and check out something new at Relative Risk. The Geneva Music Festival continues on. They'll be continuing on through the next couple of weeks, and they have a few performances this weekend. On Thursday, Atlas will be playing at Ravines Winery in Geneva on Thursday from 7:30 to 9. That's a ticketed event, and then they'll offer their Legends. Did I write it down? Their I wrote it up there. Legends and Fairy Tales program, which, I mean, I'm super excited about it. It's a 6-piece classical group with a keyboard player, 2 violins, two violas and a cello and piano. It should be just stunningly beautiful. Get right on my site to get to their ticket link. If you're interested, they have a full festival passport that you can buy for one price, and I think you've only missed one concert so far, so that's still an option for you if you're interested. And I think about 6 out of 8 of the performances are classical in nature, and 2 are not. So check that out. Our friends down, I keep saying that, they're friends. You know, you meet a person, you talk to a person, and it's the Finger Lakes. You meet a person, you talk to a person, and even though you might not be best friends, you count them as friends, because around here, when the sun's out at least, everybody's pretty happy. They're happy to meet you and me, and if you see someone you know, you better say hi, because that's the way it goes around here. So once again, our friends at Inspire More in Naples offer a few great concerts throughout the summer. They have a beautiful festival grounds down there. They also have a cafe on the grounds. This is a ticketed event, but it's a super awesome band that's widely known in the region and throughout the Northeast. Let me see if I can say it right, the Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad. And they'll be opened up by Public Water Supply. So that's going to be kind of a roots rock, reggae, zydeco kind of feel, danceable music. And they're going to offer that on Sunday late night, so you can stay up because you have the day off on Monday, I hope. And if you don't, you can't go. But get on over there. The doors open at 5 o'clock. And you can get to the ticket link, again, right from the date. Find the event, click on the event, and the next click is a ticket link, so you can go directly to the site. And if you want to find out more about the venue, there's a button on that second page that gets you right to the venue as well. Up in Sterling, along the shores of Lake Ontario, is another incredible music venue. They just offer so many great bands throughout the summer and even in the off season. Some of them are ticketed, but usually they're free. If there is a cover charge, I'll put that on the second page. If you're not sure, you should definitely go ahead and click through and find the link to the venue and see if there's a ticket. Or I say ticket, it's not a ticket if it's a cover price, right? It's just a donation to support local musicians and venues that offer them. But anyway, Tip Jar Junkies sounds like a great band, doesn't it? They're going to be playing on Saturday from 6 to 10, and Coloco Estates also offers regular music on Sunday afternoons, I believe in the 3 to 7 time period. And I received a request from the Morgan Opera House. Now, I live around here and I know a lot, and the Morgan Opera House is a place that doesn't come up much, but I know where it is, and I've actually been there. It's in Aurora, New York, which is home to the Aurora Inn and the Fargo Cafe and Wells College, and it's a beautiful, beautiful area to explore. So if you're there for the day, you might want to stop in on Saturday to hear Petty Thieves, which is a tribute band focused on Tom Petty's music, and that's a fundraiser for the Morgan Opera House from 8 to 10. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that if you live at the top of the lakes, one of these days you got to take a nice drive down to Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen, I've been down there a few times this spring, and it's like a flower starting to bloom. At first, when you look at it, you're like, is anything going to happen here? And then you realize that because of the influence of people who attend the races at the Watkins Glen racetrack and people who enjoy camping and viewing the Watkins Glen State Park, that on a regular basis there are hundreds and thousands of people that enjoy Watkins Glen, and you want to get down there too. So I'm just going to rattle off a list of places that have music. Some will be on the calendar, some might not. If you ever go someplace and the music's not on the calendar, would you please suggest that they might want to put it on there so that you can find it quickly and easily? That's the whole purpose for the calendar. But here we go. Landon's actually will be on the calendar. They have late night bands all the time, but you can find music at Seneca Cheese Company. You can find music at the Horseheads Brewery. You can find music at Nichols Barbecue Pit. And this week they'll have a regional touring act, Virgil Kane, who comes back to the Finger Lakes once or twice a year. Kukla Rocks is a super fun place to enjoy music. Roosterfish pub down there. And there's also 2 or 3 locations of new breweries in Montour Falls, which all in the same general, 3 to 5 mile range. So you can go down there and hop around. And I suggest you go check it out. Why not? Go see what's going on. Hear some music. And anytime you can say FLX Music 247, you'll be helping me out. I'd appreciate it. Thanks. So anyway, I've been talking a long time, and you've been listening a long time, and I hope you enjoy hearing about the upcoming events and the great places that you can visit. If you know somebody or you yourself are putting on a music event and you'd like to get it on the calendar, just shoot me an email. I was a public servant for most of my adult career, and I have that need to help people out. So if you're offering a fundraiser or a special event and you would just like a little publicity for your event, get it out there in a different way, just hit me up with an email and we'll talk about that. And if you just want to find out more, shoot me an email. I'm always here for you. So that's we're going to leave it for that. There's more stuff coming up. I'll be back next week with a list of upcoming events and artists to feature. But I think for now, we're just going to go out and have a great weekend. And if you have families, there's free stuff, so don't worry about that. Bring a blanket, a chair, a couple of snacks, and just get out and hang out and enjoy the upcoming weekend and the weather, and let that sun hit you. So don't get sunburned, but let that sun just kind of reach in and start to melt the knots of stress that you've developed over the winter here in the Finger Lakes. We're here to have a great time. If there's anything we can do for you, let us know. Have a great weekend. Happy Memorial Day.